Hi everyone, and welcome to our grammar lesson for Book 2, Unit 12. In this section, we are going to discuss a very important topic, adverbs. I'd like to discuss two types of commonly used adverbs with you, relative adverbs and conjunctive adverbs. Now, I know that these words sound difficult, but don't worry. I'm going to explain what they both mean in great detail. Let's start with relative adverbs. Relative adverbs, such as where, when, and why, come before a relative clause. Where means in which or at which, and it's used to refer to a place. For example, I can't choose the country where I want to go. In this example, the relative clause is, I want to go. When also means in which or at which, but it's used to describe a time. For example, she was born on a day when her father was out of town. Here, when is followed by the relative clause, her father was out of town. Okay, why means for which, and is used for explaining things, reasons why things occur. As with when and where, it is followed by a relative clause. For example, there are several reasons why I don't like England. Here, why is followed by the relative clause, I don't like England. Okay, there are some things you need to remember when using relative adverbs. When writing English, you can use that instead of why in a clause referring to a reason. Then you can also leave out the relative adverb in some clauses. For example, Dick looks forward to the day when he doesn't have to go to school. Here, you can drop the relative adverb when. You could say, Dick looks forward to the day he doesn't have to go to school. Let's take a look at another example. Do you know the reason why Holly doesn't look poetry? Here, you could drop why. You could say, do you know the reason Holly doesn't like poetry? Then finally, you can also say, I know the reason that my wife likes to shop. But here again, you can drop that relative adverb. You don't need the word that in this case. You could say, I know the reason my wife likes to shop. And yes, in all of these examples, the relative pronoun is not necessary. Let's move on to conjunctive adverbs. These adverbs are used to join ideas. Conjunctive adverbs are used in 4 different ways: to contrast, to give an example, to add information, or to provide emphasis. The conjunctive adverbs used to contrast are, however, instead, otherwise, and on the other hand. For example, I'd love to experience Spanish culture firsthand. However, I don't speak Spanish. Next, the conjunctive adverbs used to give an example are, for example, and for instance. For example, there are several reasons why I don't like England. For example, the weather there is horrible. Okay, more on conjunctive adverbs. The conjunctive adverbs used to add information are besides, also, or in addition. These usually go at the beginning of a sentence. For example, besides, Australians are welcoming people. Or also, the weather is generally nice. Okay, one more case. The conjunctive adverbs used to provide emphasis are, of course, in fact, or indeed. And yes, these also usually go at the beginning of a sentence. For example, of course, living overseas is no walk in the park, but you'll adjust. Okay, an important thing to remember when using conjunctive adverbs is to use proper punctuation. If you are joining two sentences, you must use a semicolon to separate these sentences and then a comma after the conjunctive adverb. For example, I didn't go to the carnival. Instead, I went hiking with my friend. I thoroughly hope that this explanation has helped you understand adverbs. Anyways, that does it for me. Also, congratulations, you have finished this unit. Hooray! Anyways, I can't wait to see you guys in the next unit. Bye-bye for now.